all prophesied in the Bible. It's an incredible prophecy. It's found in Ezekiel chapter number 37. What a wonderful and amazing prophecy of Ezekiel 37. It just reads like this. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of a valley which was full of bones and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord God, thou knowest, I don't know. I believe that this was a prophecy where Ezekiel saw a vision of the concentration camps of Nazi Germany right before the rebirth of the nation of Israel. And God takes Ezekiel into those concentration camps, and he sees the stacks of bones. If you've read any of the stories of Germany, you've read about it. It's a horror story of the worst magnitude. And he sees these bodies stacked up, the concentration camps. They would actually stack the bodies in an effort to burn them and get rid of them. There were so many thousands, 6 million altogether. And God said, Ezekiel, can this nation live? Ezekiel said, I don't know. This is horrible. God said, prophesy. And bone came against bone, and joint came against joint. And that was the sight of people from all over the world where God had scattered the nation of Israel. And isn't it amazing that they had had no homeland for 2,000 years, and yet they had retained their identity? They had not intermarried. God had preserved them as a people. It's an incident unmatched in all of human history. Never before has a people survived that kind of filtering through the nations and yet not been assimilated and lose their identity. And so Jeremiah gives his famous prophecy. Bone is going to come against bone. Joint is going to come against joint. Until finally, in 1947, the United Nations voted to partition. The guilt when the crematoriums began to be open and when the generals, General Eisenhower and others, went walking through Germany and through Poland and saw the graves and the horror stories, and when they went into those concentration camps and saw people that were nothing but bones with skin wrapped over the top, when they saw the atrocities of Adolf Hitler, the guilt descended so heavily upon the nations of the world that they gathered at the United Nations and they voted, and still only by one vote, by the way. That vote was the United States of America, thank God. By one vote, they voted to partition the land of Palestine and to create a Palestinian territory and an Israeli homeland. I've cast you off for 2,000 years, but now I am going to bring you back. The rest of the story is on down in the 37th chapter of Ezekiel, verse number 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. There's no doubt about that. You know, a lot of people, we who are preachers, you get a dry Sunday night service, you know, you can start really preaching. Oh, ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Well, that may make good preaching on Sunday night, but it really has nothing to do with us, only in type. Because this plainly says, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. How many people thought the hope was lost during the Holocaust? Of course they did. It was a terrible chapter for the Jewish people and for the world. We are cut off for our parts. Verse 12, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Well, that's what exactly happened. The nation was reborn, and actually the partition was done in 1947, but Israel was not declared a state until May the 14th of 1948. On that day, David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister of Israel, stepped to the podium of the UN and declared the nationhood of the Jewish people. He was asked at that time, and what will this nation be called? And the whole world was jolted and galvanized when he said, our name is Israel.